You'll see. Volume of a sphere. The volume of a sphere is written by this formula, 4 over 3 times pi times r to the power of 3, or cubed. Okay? Now there's a relationship between a certain size cylinder and a sphere. If we have a cylinder that is of the same height as a sphere, okay, which means the height is the diameter times 2, right? Because the height of a sphere is considered the diameter. So, if the height of this sphere is the diameter and the cylinder has the same height, then the height of the cylinder is just 2 times r. It's kind of an odd idea. I want you to think about that as we go through this question. Now, the relationship between a cylinder of this measurement and a sphere is that the volume of the cylinder is equal to 2/3. Sorry, I think I wrote that backwards. Yes. The volume of the sphere is equal to 2/3 times the volume of the cylinder. Okay? So what does this mean? What this means is if I can find the volume of this cylinder, okay, volume of a cylinder, and multiply it by 2/3, it'll give me the volume of a sphere. Okay? Now, does anyone know the volume of a cylinder formula?
How do you multiply by 2/3?
Yes.
What is it?
R squared h.
Times h. That's right. Volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. I'm going to replace this volume of a cylinder with this formula. So the volume of a sphere is equal to 2/3 times pi r squared times h. Okay? Now, what did we say about h? What was h equal to?
Diameter of the sphere.
Yeah, the diameter, or in other words, 2r. So I'm going to replace h with 2r. So another part of replacing here. So we now have the volume of the cylinder, or sphere, sorry, is equal to 2/3 times pi times r times r, and then h gets replaced with 2r. Now, I want you guys to go through this. This is where I was talking about multiplication. It doesn't matter what order we multiply things in. Really, I can separate all of these. These could say 2/3 times pi. So I'm putting brackets around so that we know that we're multiplying. Times r times 2 times r. All of these are being multiplied by each other. This is the same question as above. I've just written it so it looks a little more like multiplication. Because of the rule of multiplication, it doesn't matter what order we multiply things in. I'm going to multiply my 2/3 times 2. Okay? What will that give us? Does anyone know?
How do you multiply 2/3?
4.
Not over 6. Remember, we multiply fractions. We do the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. So we'll do 2 times 2. That's right. We'll get 4 over 3. Okay? And I'm going to multiply r times r. What will that give us? Oh, sorry. I left out a squared that was here before. I'm going to multiply r squared times r. What will that give us?
R cubed.
R cubed, right? So we've taken care of these two and these two. The only thing left is our pi. This is the exact formula I gave you above. 4 pi r cubed. So that's just a relationship of how they get this formula. So let's get into an example, and I'll answer any questions in a second. We have some information about our excommunicated planet Pluto. Okay? So Pluto used to be a planet.
What happened?
About that. The diameter of this planet is kilometers long. Still. So the diameter is 2,290 kilometers.
That's small.
Okay? So if the diameter is that, what information do we need?
Radius.
Radius. So what will we do with this value? And what will that give us? That's right. So the radius of the, I think they call it a planetesimal now. It's no longer a planet, of Pluto, is 1,145 kilometers. So let's plug that value in for specifically our radius to find out the entire volume of Pluto. That would be 4 over 3 times pi multiplied by 1,145 cubed. So, we'll do that part first in our calculator. 1,145. I have cubed right here. Many of your calculators will have that. So this is multiplying that number times itself 3 times. Pretty large. I'm then going to multiply by pi. And then again, I'm going to multiply by 4 over 3. So I'll put this in brackets. 4 divided by 3, end bracket, is equal to. The volume of Pluto is a very large number here.
Is that legit though?
That's legit. So let's write it down. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6 billion.
I put more in that one.
6 billion.
287 million.
I'm walking. I'm walking.
87.
891,000.
1,000.
936 kilometers
Cube.
cubed.
Stop.
That's a lot.
It's a pretty big place.